wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Good morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest co-host, Miss Lauren LaRosa, and let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Tiz.
Good morning, DJ Envy. Good morning, everybody. And what did Charlamagne say? He's going by Uncle Snacky?
We are
no,
not.
that's what the streets named me.
That's what the streets.
That's definitely
Out
not
of
what you
everything
named
that could
me.
have went down in the streets, that's what they named you.
They definitely didn't name me that.
No, for real, the girls from the Poor Minds podcast, salute to Lexi and Dre. That's what they call me, Uncle Snacky. So it's just something that, it just picked up crazy everywhere I go. Uncle Snacky.
I didn't choose this life; it chose me.
It didn't. Nobody.
That's right.
Nobody calls him Uncle Snacky.
That's right.
Tez,
That's right.
can we talk about Hunter Biden, please? What's going on with his deal?
Yeah, we can. This might be a little bit confusing, but I think we'll clear it up this morning. A plea deal between Hunter Biden and the Justice Department over tax charges is on hold after a federal judge said in court Wednesday that she's not ready to accept the revised agreement between both parties. Many of you may remember us also covering this story on Front Page News earlier, I guess this month or a few weeks ago, but Hunter Biden failed to pay between $1.1 million and $1.5 million in federal taxes before the legal deadlines and was prepared to plead guilty to 2 tax charges, with prosecutors agreeing to recommend a sentence of probation. Now, as the plea deal began to unravel, the two sides convened to try to reach an agreement, and after the negotiations, the judge said she was concerned because she feels like they're linking the tax plea agreement to resolving the felony gun charge. So bottom line, simply put, she wants to be clear that she's not doing something unconstitutional. She wants to make sure that she has the authority to do what she's doing. And she's basically asking the attorneys to go back to the drawing board, write better language before she signs off. Legal experts say that this will more than likely certainly be resolved. And I think they said that may take, a few weeks, maybe 4 to 6 weeks to kind of, get it together. So
Yeah,
That judge is right, though. Like, how do you get a plea deal for all of that, and why does it feel like all of those things are intertwined? Because when I read it yesterday and when I was watching it on the news, it's like, the reality is there's people in prison for way less than what Hunter Biden is accused of. He didn't pay between 1.1 and 1.5 million in federal taxes, and they were going to let him plead to 2 misdemeanors and get probation for owing the government that much money?
Well, not even that. To have a felony gun charge?
Oh, my God, an illegal gun purchase? Come on, man. And there's another part where the judge wanted to know, I think the attorneys were asking, did the deal protect Hunter from facing additional charges for illegal foreign lobbying? Like, come on, man. How is all of this intertwined into one thing?
Because he's Joe Biden's son.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what was that gun? What was the gun charge at, Tez? Was that in Delaware or where was that?
I don't have that in front of me.
I don't remember.
But when we covered it before, I believe it's in Delaware. But remember, the thing that they were talking about with the gun charge was, remember his counsel had said that basically he's going to go to that deferment program. Remember that because he was on drugs at the time, they basically were saying, take it light on him because he was on drugs at the time.
No.
So that's why they put him in that deferment program, which says that as long as you don't get caught again or, have issues with drugs, they're going to drop that charge. So that's how those two were connected. And that's why, again, this judge is saying it's too much going on with this plea deal. And she was actually quite frustrated by it and wants, some clear language. And then they also said that he was still under investigation. And that also concerned her as well. It's like you have me signing off on things while investigations are still going on.
What's so ironic about this is, as convenient as this is looking for him, the fact that he is Joe Biden's son is just the irony, because the 3-strike rule, there's so much that came out of like Biden's term. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I have friends that literally their lives like ended because of a lot of the things that Biden had put into place in Delaware.
Yep.
And now his son is on the chopping block, and it's like they're giving him a pat on the wrist.
Like, just give him a pass.
Yeah, the 3-strike, like literally people's lives ended. Our friends just now getting things taken off of their record from when they were kids, and they've had such a hard time in their adult life.
And listen, we know it's going to be some privilege when you're the president's son. We know that, but damn, don't make it so obvious. I mean, especially the IRS. Come on, 1.5 million and you get a misdemeanor? Y'all done lock people up
for less than that,
for not paying taxes for way less, man.
And the gun charge is even crazy. You think
illegal
about
gun purchase?
Plaxico just won the Super Bowl and they put him in jail. Lil Wayne was an icon. They put him in jail. Ja Rule, Joel Santana. Now that's what I'm asking. What state it was in? Because
it was in Delaware. It was in Delaware.
In Delaware, and Delaware gun laws are pretty strong as well.
That's what made me think of the 3-strike rule.
All right. Well, that is front page news. Now, Teslin, we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Absolutely.
Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our special guest host with us, Lauren LaRosa. She's back. And let's get in some front page news. Now, Teslin, figure, I know we got a lot to talk about it, so let's jump right in. Mitch McConnell yesterday, he scared people yesterday during this conference, huh?
Yeah, I know this is something I think you'll have a lot to say, DJ Envy. Senator Republican leader Mitch McConnell appeared to freeze. Well, he did freeze. Let's not appear. He absolutely froze mid-sentence during a press conference yesterday. He went completely silent. As McConnell began discussing the annual defense bill, he paused for about 20 seconds and he just stared off into space. Now, his Republican colleagues standing behind him noticed the unusual pause and slowly came to get him, asking if he wanted to return to his office or if there was anything else that he wanted to say. He did not respond verbally, and he was escorted away at the scene. He later walked back on his own to the press conference. Reporters asked, was he okay? He said he was fine. And was he feeling well enough to continue doing his job? He said yes. And then as he walked away, he actually, joked about it and said that he was sandbagged. He was referencing, remember when President Biden slipped over the sandbag on the stage?
Yep.
So he referenced that and said, I was sandbagged, but his aide said that he felt lightheaded and just needed to step away. But it definitely was eerie to watch. I'm sure you guys saw it all over social media. And just as a point of reference, Mitch McConnell is 81 years old.
I thought he was going to pass out.
Yeah.
When I was watching it.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It could have been a stroke. It could have been anything. It could have been, like you said, maybe he zoned out for a second, but it is very scary when that does happen. And we've been seeing that more and more and more and more with people, whether it's, like I said, I was at the concert the other day and the girl was standing there and all of a sudden she just fell and had a seizure. And I've been seeing that a lot more at venues, a lot more at clubs, and I've been hearing about it a lot more in the news, so it's very, very scary.
I think in the case of Mitch McConnell, that was the UFOs.
What?
That was the aliens. After that former intelligence officer testified that the U.S. is hiding UFOs and non-human bodies, what I think happened is Mitch McConnell, as Mitch said, they said what about aliens? Or the aliens are letting us know who they control because Mitch McConnell is a scroll.
What are you talking about? Is that what you got out of this story?
I think you need to lay off of the Clone Tyrone.
Yeah, Clone Tyrone. You don't watch too much Clone Tyrone.
And then you watch it too many times.
Or it could have been hookah head. If you ever smoke hookah sometimes.
That happened to me.
That happened to me too.
I got like lightheaded and I passed out from hookah.
See, you smoke hookah and then maybe
it makes you just go.
Maybe he hit a little hookah right before he came on and he froze.
It was mint.
And it was mint.
I'm here for that. I don't
hookah
think
ain't nothing but cheap crack.
What?
Cheap flavored crack.
What are you
talking
about?
Just call me a crackhead. I don't.
All right, well, let's move on. Let's talk about this naked woman that jumped out of a car and started busting shots. Where was that? What happened with that?
Yeah, a naked woman in California got out of her car on one of the nation's busiest bridges and began firing a gun on Tuesday. Let's take a listen to the report.
That this all started just after 4:30 this afternoon when a woman, first armed with a knife, got out of her car on the bridge and started yelling at other drivers. She then got back in her vehicle and stopped again near the toll plaza. Investigators say this time she got out with a gun and started firing into the air and at vehicles. Some cars, we're told, were hit, but the CHP says that no one was hurt. The woman has been arrested and taken to a hospital for evaluation.
I mean, it sounds like obviously she has some mental problems.
Or
what?
That was a clone who escaped, and she didn't know where she was.
Charlamagne.
She didn't know where she was at, so she thought she was still fighting her way out of a lab.
Uncle Snacky.
Stay woke.
Yo,
Uncle
up,
Snacky,
man.
please put the Netflix down.
Word.
Like,
y'all saw they clone Tyrone?
Yes, I
when all them naked people was walking around at the end once they escaped. Stay woke.
What's wrong with you?
Please put the Netflix
Well, you know you're talking about
down.
Charlamagne. He believes in aliens. He thinks an alien came down one time and shot him in the leg or something. Like he really
strikes
believes
me
that.
as
Why wouldn't you believe in extraterrestrials? Did you not see the U.S. intelligence official testify under oath yesterday? That the U.S. is hiding UFOs and non-human bodies?
I saw that, but I don't know. I just feel like the way that people troll our lives today, I don't believe anything. I don't care under oath or not.
Lauren, there's an estimated 100 billion planets in just the Milky Way galaxy. You really think we're the only ones with life on it?
No, but as horrible as where we live is, why would they want to come here? What's bringing them here? The music? I'm confused.
Same reason we like to explore horrible places.
Well, I think that this woman was at not
CC the submersible.
Why? No, see, now y'all dumb people. That was a different group of people.
That's real.
Would any of you guys have gotten on the submersible?
No.
Exactly. So that is a set group of people who chose to make that decision. Now this woman, I think she really has some things going on.
Issues, absolutely.
Either some mental or drugs, something. But the pictures. People
all those things could be true. Arce could be a clone.
Stop it, man. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, please watch that movie. Charlamagne wants to unpack that movie, guys. So he said earlier this week that he's waiting on you guys to watch it.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
I'm gonna watch it on the plane on Sunday on my way back.
All right. Well, that is your front page news.
Mm-hmm. And make sure you subscribe to Tesla and Figaro's podcast, the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, and follow her on all social media platforms at Tesla and Figaro.
All right. Now, when we come back, let's talk Young Miami. She said yesterday, pretty much she is done. Let me get the exact quote. She says, "I'm ready to be in a relationship and love again. This is my last summer being outside." She don't want it to be a hot girl summer anymore. So, ladies, fellas, when do you know when it's time to be in a relationship? When is hot girl summer or hot boy summer over? That is the question. 800-585-1051. Lauren?
When hell freezes over.
Oh, so you on hot girl summer until 90?
I mean, if I got it in me, I just feel like you got to meet the right person, and I don't even know if that's like a thing in this day and age. The way that people, we were talking about this yesterday. At my age right now, I really don't have much hope in the male gender to like want to be married and committed and all that type of stuff. So I'd rather just be by myself. Why you say your
age like you're 60?
I'm 31 years old. Me and Taylor were literally talking about this yesterday. I'm 31 years old.
Oh boy.
I'm between New York and LA. People are not serious about being in a committed relationship and being in love right now. Everybody wants to be outside and have a good time. So why would you try to go against the grain and then now you end up hurt?
I'm sure there's a bunch of individuals. I'm sure there's a bunch of men out there that want to settle down, that's looking for a wife, that's looking to create a family.
Well, would you date a bus driver? Let's put that on the table.
Y'all about to get me in this conversation.
Would you?
Well, the reality is,
she said no.
See,
that's your problem.
You wouldn't date a bus driver?
No, I would not.
She said no. She wouldn't. See, you probably blocking your blessing.
Everybody,
y'all, you're
the fourth person this week that told me I'm probably blocking some blessings.
You probably.
No, I just feel like, what's the reality?
The reality is, after a certain age, you're not a hot girl, you're a golden girl. And then you become a golden girl, and then you become a hot girl again because of menopause. So sit your ass down, okay?
See?
So if not a bus driver, what's your type?
Okay, so let me just say that I think I'm still figuring it out. I was with the same person from high school to like maybe like 6 months ago. Okay. Right? So like 10 years, right? So I'm still learning that.
Salute to that king we learned about earlier this week.
I'm still learning that, but for what I know that I didn't, like what I don't, or what I do want from what was going on, I just want to be able to trust your leadership and your vision for like us and our family. Because at this point, if I'm serious with you, we're talking about family, marriage, all of that. I need to be able to take the passenger seat. Like me being so dominant, it's hard to find a guy that like can handle that and not be insecure about that.
So what would be wrong with a blue collar worker?
No, sis. I was married at 23, and I think I'm pretty aggressive and dominant. But I married a mechanic, so
you were married
I don't know.
At
maybe you need to
23?
open up to the blue collar brothers. You might find some happiness on that.
Some love.
I just feel like the keeping like it's different because of my work and how social I have to be. Being a woman in that space, it gets a little challenging. Like, and they're fine with it at first. And then it becomes, who is this person? Why do you have to be talking to this person? All those things start to happen. That puts a dent on the relationship.
Does that actually happen, or do you assume that's what's going to happen?
That actually happened. That's a thing that actually happened. And
okay.
But I don't know. Maybe we talk about it offline.
Yeah, we need to. Because married at 20, are you still married?
No, I'm not. I was married 13 years though, and he's very much still in my life. We had a daughter. We waited 7 years before we had our child. So divorces certainly happen. But I do, he's still a very good man. And I think you need to, well, I can't tell you what to do, sis. Do whatever you're going to do. But I know when the net is not cast wide enough, and if you're only looking at certain type of men and certain type of, guys, you can limit you. I can say that.
Well, let's take some calls when we come back. We're trying to figure out when hot girl summer, what is it over for you, right? Young Miami said, I'm ready to be in a relationship and in love again. This is my last summer being outside. When do you realize that you don't want to be outside no more? Let's talk about it. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.